everyone, and welcome to Mrs. Engel's Great Room. And today's review video number 1 is on molar quantities. Now let's remember that if we understand molar quantities, that means we understand the definition of what is a mole, molar mass, how to convert between moles and molar mass to get to grams, and vice versa, that we understand representative particles, that we understand liters of gas. So this problem that we're going to do encompasses all of those academic vocabulary words into a single problem. Notice over here though, it says show data to justify reasoning, and there's different ways you can do that. I'm going to show you one way, and then I'm going to let you think about other ways that you can do that. And I apologize ahead of time if my dog starts barking during any of these videos. So which of the following substances has the most mass, most number, change that, number of molecules, which is a representative particle because these are both bonded molecules. You have oxygen gas and you have nitrogen dioxide. And then finally, the number of atoms. Starting off with 50 liters of oxygen gas and 3 moles of NO2. Notice that you have to have the same unit to compare, but I don't. So the first thing I'm going to do is convert my 50 liters into moles, like the NO2. And that's, again, doing a molar conversion. We know by definition that any volume of gas will always occupy the same, any mole of gas, I apologize for that, any mole of gas will always occupy the same volume, which is 22.4, as long as you do not change pressure or temperature. So if we take our 50 liters and we set up a mole ratio here, liters cancel, and I'm left with moles, and I calculated this to be 2.2 moles. So now I have the same unit. I have 2.2 moles and 3.0 moles. I'm going to skip most mass right now and go to most number of molecules, because by definition 1 mole always equals 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules, or representative particles. In this case it is a molecule. Since 3.0 moles is greater than 2.2 moles, 3.0 moles would have the most molecules. And the reason this works is that I'm actually multiplying both of them by the same value. That's that 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd over 1 mole. Again, my moles in this instance will cancel, and I'm left with molecules. And the answers here are respectively 1.3 times 10 to the 24th for our oxygen, just to prove it. And for our nitrogen dioxide, 1.8 times 10 to the 24th. If we look at number of atoms, now we're actually looking at the chemical formulas. O2 and NO2. O2, 2 atoms per molecule. NO2, 3 atoms per molecule. So again, even though we can't make an assumption that just because I have more moles, I would have more atoms, it really depends now on the formula, since there are more molecules in NO2 and there are more atoms, NO2 would have the most number of overall atoms. And in fact, if we looked at this and we calculated these answers out for our oxygen, it would end up being 2.6 times 10 to the 24th. So multiplying this one by 2. And for our NO2, it would be 5.4 times 10 to the 24th. Now our final comparison was mass, and I saved that one for last because you can't just presume. Okay, 2.2 moles is less than 3 moles, therefore oxygen will have less mass. And the reason for that is every substance, again, very important to remember this, every substance has its own molar mass. Now in this situation, you have 2.2 moles. Again, we're converting to grams, so it goes on top, moles goes on the bottom, moles always gets the 1. From the periodic table, the molar mass of oxygen is 16, O2 would be 32. Doing the same thing, (14 plus 32, now it's 46 grams per mole. Now in this situation, NO2 does have a greater mass, and we had a greater number of moles, but just for the fun of it, because you know how much I enjoy doing these problems, 70.4 grams, and NO2 would be 138. Now, what if we were comparing it to hydrogen though? If this had been 3 moles of hydrogen, yes, it has more molecules. Yes, it has more atoms, but 3 moles of hydrogen would have been 6.0 grams. So don't always presume that more moles means more mass. It might not. Hope you enjoyed this review video. If this is one topic that you are going to use for expertise, please go to the problem set and do a couple of problems and submit on Google Doc for me.